Hey guys, just want to kind of show you a little bit about what I'm doing for striper fishing. I'm pretty new to striper fishing. I kind of got into it last year. Been out with a couple guides over the last 10 years or so here and there. But now that I've got this pontoon, I wanted to get into doing some of it myself. And so spent a lot of time researching what I need and so forth. And what became clear to me is that I definitely need a bait tank if I want to go out and use some blueback herring for these guys. And you can't just use a regular old live well. They don't really survive too well on those things. So I just want to share with you some of the things that I've learned as I'm trying to start out with this, because like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but these are some of the things that I learned that I really couldn't find some of the details on when I was searching around. Had to ask people and talk to people and do a little experimenting. But basically, you're going to need a bait tank. And so I'm fixing to head out today to Lake Hartwell in South Carolina and see what we can do for some stripers this afternoon. But this is my bait tank. It's a bait jacuzzi. It's made by a guy over in just across the state line in Georgia. And I got it from, he's got a website, baitjacuzzi.com. This isn't a paid endorsement or anything like that. When I did my research, it seemed he had a lot of good reviews, and basically I looked at it, and there may be some better bait tanks, but for the price, this bait tank seems to do a good job. And so if you want to look in here, basically we've got a pump in there. It's a Tsunami T800 down in the bottom, okay, and I'm filling the tank up right now. And it's basically got a filter in here, so it's cycling the water through, because these herring, the scales are going to come off as they're active in here and so forth. And we got a filter in here, and so the water will bubble up through here. It'll catch all the scales to try to keep the water clean. And then so basically we're getting this filled up right now. We've got some adjustments here for airflow, and we're just getting this going here. And so you can back up. I'm going to stop it here in just a minute, the water flow. And so one of the things that I've learned, I'm fixing to cut the water off here, it's almost full enough, but basically one of the things that I learned on my first day out, I stopped by a self-serve bait place, and it's a good thing the owner was there, because boy did I have a lot to learn. I've got a well, and he had a well over there also, and so I didn't bother filling the tank up first. So anyway, just cut the water off in here. But basically what happened is I went to the place, you follow the instructions, get the bait and everything. The problem is he has deep well water also. It's a deep well, and after a certain depth there's not enough oxygen in that water. And so I put the herring in here the first time out, and they immediately came to the surface and they were on their side, and that's not a good sign ever. But fortunately he worked with me, let me put him back in his tank, and started telling me more about it. But basically what I figured out is what I need to do is I need to fill this up. It's about a 40-minute drive over to the bait place before we get over to the landing at Hartwell. And basically I'm just going to go ahead and turn this pump on and let this water just oxygenate. And that's really what that pump's going to do for me, just get the oxygen in the water so that the herring can survive when I get there. And then when I get over there, I'll show you what we got to do to get all that set up, and show you what it looks like when you have a good setup in your tank. The herring are going to go down, they're not going to stay at the surface. And so that's just some of the things I've learned. And if he wasn't there that day, I'd have just wasted all kind of money on bait, because it would have died right off the bat. So anyway, we'll catch up with you in a little bit. I'm here at the self-serve bait place. It's on Gaffney Road in Anderson on the way to Lake Hartwell. First thing we got to do is get some salt. And we've got some salt in a bucket here. It costs $1. It's got its prices up there, so you don't want the kids to put that salt into the bait tank that I showed you earlier. And now we're going to scoop out some of the herring in here. We've got the bluebacks in this tank, and so he's got a net set up for us to get this stuff. So I'm going to grab the net. We use this thing here to get them in there, and the net to keep them out. Alright, I'm going to give you that. And you can kind of zoom in on the fish here. So wait a minute, I've got to take my tip head off. That off, it'd be bad. It's not waterproof. Alright, so we got all the herring down there. We're going to do is go ahead and lower the net in. We're going to go slow because we don't want to get the fish too agitated. And what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly work it down. And I think Stripe been biting pretty well. That's probably why there's not a whole lot of herring here. We're going to just come up with some of this herring. And we're going to try to get a dozen of them in here. Just get some water in here already. Get some water in here first. All right. Count out 12 of them. 1, 2, 3.
Is that 5 or 4?
That's 5.
5. So I make it 8.
All right. That's 10. All right, let's go ahead and dump those in. So we're going to run this over. Go ahead and get these in the bake tank real quick. So, got the first dozen in the bake tank there. A little bit of water in here. Get the next dozen in. We're going to take 2 dozen on this trip.
4.
Alright, I'm just going to let the rest of these get out of here. We don't have any cotton net there. I'm going to get those in the tank, and then I will show you what they look like when they get in the tank there. So I'll show you what it looks like now when I open this tank up. And I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but these guys are swimming about halfway down, which is where we want them to be. We don't want them up at the surface, so they're comfortable. The water's oxygenated. It's been running the whole way over here, so that's what we got going on here.